This is a video lecture on Ottoman Empire reforms. After Napoleon had attacked Egypt, part of the Ottoman Empire knew it was time for reform. So in 1839, the Sultan had issued the decrees of the Hadi Sharif, which had attempted to reorganize the country's military and economy. This began a period known as Tanzimat, which means reorganization, and lasted from 1839 to 1876. Now, it's important to know that the Ottoman Sultan did not directly issue these reforms. It was the administrative councils who drew the reforms up. They attempted to liberalize the economy and eliminate corruption from the empire. One way they did this was through the elimination of a practice called tax farming, in which people essentially taxed themselves. One of the most important thing that the Hadi Sharif did was it issued religious equality for all Muslims, Jews, and Christians in the Ottoman Empire, which was a majority Muslim country. People of all religions were now equal under the law and could engage in commercial agreements with each other. In 1856, after the Crimean War, the Hadi Hammurabi decrees were issued. They gave more explicit rights to non-Muslims. For example, the right to serve in the military, the right to equal chance at employment, and admission into state schools. These reforms also abolished torture and gave more rights to foreigners, allowing them to own property in the Ottoman Empire. However, these reforms were really hard to be made successful and put into practice because most Ottoman states had control over their own governments, like in Egypt. So these individual states would have their own reforms and communicate with other European countries independent of Istanbul. Also, in Istanbul, there was power struggles between government administrators, army officers, and merchants, all wanting power. As a result of this tension and other nationalistic beliefs in the Ottoman Empire, these reforms failed to achieve political and economic stability in the Ottoman Empire. After military defeats in the Balkans in the 1870s for the Ottoman Empire, the empire began to modernize its military and economy to other areas of Europe, starting to build railroads and telegraphs. Reformers in the Ottoman Empire convinced the Sultan to proclaim a constitution that again modeled political systems around Europe. Now, this constitution called for the election of a chamber of deputies and the appointment of a senate to form a parliament. Even though they now had a parliament, the Sultan's power for the most part still remained intact. Overall, the reforms of this time period saw a secularization of the Ottoman Empire.